Hello winners, my name is Ebony, and in this video I'm going to give any high school students some tips from an admissions counselor from UNC-Chapel Hill. So if you have any students that are in high school, they're looking to go to a high level, a high performing academic college or university, then you've come to the right video. I'm gonna give you a couple of tips from an admission counselor himself, one of my high school friends, because all of my friends are successful, all of my friends are bosses, and all of my friends are educated.
Who's gonna ask the question? You gonna ask the question?
The way I just asked.
What do you base your admission and your criteria? Is it strictly for GPA?
No, it's actually not strictly on GPA. What we have is called a holistic review process. Holistic meaning that there isn't a single number or factor that will get you admitted or denied to UNC-Chapel Hill. Instead, what we're saying is that we'll look at 5 key areas, and individually, these parts sort of allow us to look at the student as a person and do our best job, and not a number, and do our best job to ensure that one, they can be successful at Carolina, and two, they'll be able to contribute in other meaningful ways to the university. So not only creating experiences for themselves, but creating shared experiences for those around them.
Oh wow! So what advice would you give to a upcoming high school student, 9th grade, 10th grade maybe, if they are planning on going to a college at your stature? Yeah.
I would say, one, pay very close attention to curriculum. Curriculum is important because
the courses that they choose to take.
The type of courses that you choose to take can prepare you for an academic rigor at a school like UNC-Chapel Hill, or at an Ivy League school, or at a top 5 public university in the country, right? Okay. So rigor is important because as we know it, an AP class or an IB class, or even a college course, which is trending now, right? So dual enrollment courses allows for students to sort of experience a different pace of academic rigor. The catch to all of this is, if you're going to take those types of courses, that your performance also has to be equally better, right? So
so you can't just take a high level course and make a C. You got to take a high level course and make an A.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So, at UNC-Chapel Hill, we prefer more A's than B's, more A's and B's together than C's and so forth. Right? That's not to say that you can't make a C. The next question is that we're going to also evaluate grade trends, right? So did you take a tough class and make an A or a B, or maybe a B or a C, and then you continue on in that rigor and continue to sort of challenge yourself academically?
Okay.
And some students will tend to challenge themselves and not do well, and then back off.
Okay.
And is that good?
Right, so we prefer that you continue to take these courses and continue to challenge yourself.
Okay.
Right, and the goal of all of it is that take the tough class and make an A.
Yeah, take the tough class and make an A.
In doing so, you're putting yourself in a really, really good position to be successful beyond your post-secondary years.
I love that. Oh my God, thank you so much.
So what are you trying to do?
Well, nothing, I'm just asking. Take it.
You don't want to set a student up for failure, right? And so that's why I always tell parents, like, by the time you're calling me at the point in which your student is a rising senior, it's too late.
Wow.
Because at that point you should already know what type of student you have.
Right.
Right? So you should know what type of student you have coming out of 8th grade going into high school.
Yeah.
But then you allow them that freshman year to sort of find their balance within high school. And so, but by 9th, 10th grade, you know exactly what type of student you have. So if you have a student who's been succeeding in honors courses and making, A's without even trying, it's a clear indication that they probably should step up their rigor just a little bit. So you step it up in 10th grade, and if they do well, you continue to sort of do a little bit more in 11th grade, and then by 12th grade is when, back in the day, it used to be a time where folks get to 12th grade and they've completed all their credits, and now it's time to back off.
Yeah.
These kids nowadays, they push even harder through 12th grade.
Now they're doing college courses.
Exactly.
And it's a gift and a curse. It's not bad if you have a student who's intrinsically sort of, that's their thing. Like academics is who they are, and they breathe it and they live it, and it comes to them and they do well in it. continue on, push yourself harder, but at the same time, there's this thing called burnout. So you have to know your student and find the balance between taking tough courses, but also living a little bit, and they want to be involved, and they want to do extracurricular activities and those types of things. So, but these kids now are finding the balance, and they're doing both.
Yeah.
And
So
some of them are doing more.
I got two questions. One about online courses, being that technology is trending and it's so important now. Online courses and the importance of community service and clubs. How important is that now?
So online courses is going to it's going to be sort of dependent on the student and the resources that's available to them. Like,
And does it rank higher if they have experience in on? Like,
no, not necessarily. I mean, if it's an online college course, it's a college course regardless whether it's online or whether it's face to face, right? So, just going back to curriculum for a second, you know, I throw out AP and IB in college courses as if it's sort of, you know, something that's easily accessible to every student, but it's not sometimes. You know, a lot of times, you know, what we tell students is take advantage of the resources that you have in your high school. So if the hardest class in your high school is an honors class, take the honors classes, and we're going to evaluate you within the context of what your school has to offer.
okay.
We can't compare one school to another because we know, you know, every school district and every county is not created equally.
That's true.
And everyone doesn't have the same resources.
Okay.
So it would be unfair to do that. So that's the thing with curriculum. In terms of extracurricular activities, you know, it used to be a time where folks, and some schools may do this, so I'm not knocking all the schools, but it used to be a time where they say, oh, we're looking for well-rounded students. Well, that idea sort of slowly went out the window because it's perfectly okay for a student to concentrate on 3 things and that's it, and have impact and have breadth and have depth and have sustained commitment over a number of years.
Okay.
And that's all they've done is those 3 things. And yet they have stellar academics versus a student who's done 8 things and they don't have the commitment there, and you can't see the impact.
They just doing stuff just to put it on their resume.
To fill up a stat sheet.
Okay.
And that's sort of ideas out the window. Like, it's okay if you've done those things and you've been able to sustain them, but it's also okay for you to do just 2 things and do them really well.
And then have like leadership positions in those
There you go.
organizations and creating things. Okay, that's great. Thank you so much,
Question.
Okay.
One last question. So with the growing numbers of homeschoolers, do you see that changing? Like, do you have to change your whole dynamic on how you assess them to
Yeah, I don't think
curriculum?
our evaluation of them are changing. I think we do have to account for them. Just the way, you know, more and more families are choosing that route. But what we're also seeing is that there are curriculums being created to tailor towards them. So more and more homeschoolers are finding ways to take the competitive courses, including AP courses. Some of them, many of them, I think I say the most that I see are many of them are looking at taking college classes to help supplement and get that rigor. It's a growing number, and we've yet to feel the need to sort of change it in how we review them. And, I mean, they're just like any other high school student. We're going to look at curriculum, we're going to look at performance, and all the other holistic things that we review. So.
Oh, leave me a comment. Do you have any questions for my friend? I'll see if he'll answer them for you, and I'll put them in the comments. Let me know, do you have any kids, and what school do you prefer for your kids, or do you think college is important or not? Leave a comment. Make sure you check the links in the description, and thank you so much for watching. My friend just stopped by to just say hello. And let me give them, can I tell my favorite story that I like to tell people about you?
No.
Yes. We went to school together. This man right here has never ever missed a day. From kindergarten to high school to 12th grade year, he is the only person that got the award for never missing a day out of school. Who can say that?
That works at Chapel Hill.
Oh, exactly. Somebody that works at Chapel Hill's admission. So your character traits are very important. You have to build those skills now. Like, don't take those things for granted or lightly. He never missed a day out of school. Like, I just thought he was so cool for that. So yeah. Anyway, make sure you leave a comment, click all the links, and make sure you choose your circle wisely. Make sure you have people around you that are supportive, that are smart, that you can emulate, people that you look up to, people that you can call and make YouTube videos in the spare of the moment.